We are live. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Tasha Cooper Ware of HLS Collective, and I am here with one of my amazing long-term clients, Anna Magoulis. So, welcome, Anna. Anna has been with me forever, y'all, since my early years at Capitol Hill back in 2000. When did we start, Anna? 2010? 2010, 2011.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a journey. Anna has worked all kind of fabulous different jobs. She's an entrepreneur. She's also an amazing actress. So, Anna, is there anything you would like to tell us about yourself before we get started that might tell the world why they should work with me because they may have something in common with you?
Sure. Well, as you said, I have been with you for the last 15 years at least. I'm a huge fan, and my workouts and my appearance, as far as the way I wanted my body to look and my health, has been totally transformed. I mean, I was struggling. So really happy to be here and talk about my experience.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you being here today. So, what would you say working with me was the thing that made you finally say, I can't keep doing this alone?
Well, I had been working out on my own for years before I met you, Tasha, and I was not really getting the results that I wanted. And I think that was part of the lack of motivation. Like, I was working out several times a week on my own, but didn't know what the right exercises for me were. And so I started to lose motivation, and I realized like I would just stop going to the gym, or, I would make excuses and be like, oh, I'll go tomorrow. I'm too tired. And it was hard to stay consistent. So I realized that I had the type of personality that I needed to be held accountable. So when Sherry, my husband's aunt, said she was working with you, I was like, hey, maybe I should give that a shot. And it was the best decision I made, really, because it made me accountable. It made me want to show up.
And I love being accountable to you guys. And I'm very consistent with you say over all the years. It's one thing, I'm going to show up for you and be there for you. So I'm glad that was something that really helped you along the way. So what's one rule or habit you used to follow religiously that you completely let go since we started coaching?
So I used to think that I had to be really strict.
Okay.
With my eating, and I had to work out, several times a week in order to get the results that I wanted. And I realized that following a strict diet was kind of setting myself up for failure a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And then if I would fall off the diet, I would beat myself up and, say, okay, now I'm going to starve, for 2 days, so I could get back on track, when really, all I needed to do was stay consistent and make little changes here and there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad you picked up the new habits. You've been able to stay consistent, and we haven't had to do anything crazy, any crash dieting or anything
exactly.
Like that. And usually I steer away from that stuff. When you do bring me things sometime, you're like, hey, Tasha, what about this? And I usually say, like, no, we don't.
Just forget that. Yeah.
It creeps in there, and that's our teamwork success.
Yes, absolutely. That's right.
So walk me through what actually shifted once we built your plan and you had me in your corner.
So I think the major shift was having a framework. And again, like not having to do really extreme things in order to get results and see a difference and stay motivated. It was more like I didn't have to do drastic things, just make little tweaks in my diet. I realized, I was eating a little too much carb. I was snacking on things like crackers or pretzels, things that were just not working, like not helping me get to where I needed to be. So once I started, you started coaching me on the nutrition part and doing the right exercises, that was life-changing, because I realized I didn't have to crash diet. I didn't have to cut out things. I just made little changes to eat more protein, make it a little more protein based, try to eat more vegetables and combine that with, meat. And that ended up working out for me because it's something I can live with the rest of my life. So.
Amazing, amazing. That is definitely the goal. And you're living a great life. You have a really, really full life. You're headed to Egypt next week. You're like
traveling the world.
Traveling the world. Her daughter's well-rounded. Like, she's definitely killing it. So you're welcome. So brag a little bit of what results are you most proud of since starting with HLS?
Well, as you know, Tasha, I always hated my thighs.
Indeed.
I had those Greek thighs going, and I never really knew how to, I thought there was nothing that could be done. It was genetic, and, there's only so much exercise you could do, and you can't really transform how you were made, right? So, but I think when I started seeing you regularly and we were doing those exercises and improving my posture and like tightening the knees, keeping the body flexed, and that just made a huge difference. And I'm really proud. Like, I'm not ashamed of my thighs anymore. I'm really happy with the way I look, and overall muscle tone is there. And I never thought I could have that kind of body. I never thought I could look fit long term, without working out every single day and doing heavy weights and that kind of thing. So I feel like, the muscle tone is staying with me even as I'm getting older, and long term, it's made a huge difference.
Amazing. Yes, and you have worked hard, and you worked consistently, though. So you didn't have to be rigorous and you said you were doing something different with the trainer beforehand, or you're like, this is not working.
It was a lot of heavy weights, and my muscles did get stronger. The muscles were there, but they were thick. They made my legs look thicker. Mm-hmm. And that's not the result I wanted. So I was kind of disappointed that, here I was in better shape. I was stronger, but aesthetics wise, it wasn't my goal. So when I started seeing you, things started lifting in all the right places. I got the strength were in my upper body and slimmed down the lower body, and it's much more proportion now.
Yes. And yes, what you left out. We actually won a contest. We won the gold. We won the gold champion.
That's right. Gold champion, or I was first or second place. I don't remember.
Yeah, you won a big giant check. That's what you won.
But I still have that picture where I'm holding the check, and that was I never thought I could ever win a fitness contest, and here I was just following what you told me to do, and I was trying my best, and not every day was perfect. Even there were some days I messed up or whatever, but I still, that was the best shape I had ever been in. That was just, that was an amazing time.
And that was after you had your baby.
That was after the baby.
That was after the baby. Ironically, that's when people come to me. I said, I'm always like, well, they're like, oh, it's because I had kids. I'm like, well, that was a decade ago. What about? Right. They're like, we can do some things. It's okay. Your baby is now in elementary school. So. Yeah. Awesome. So, tell me about a day when you didn't feel motivated but stayed consistent anyway. How did having accountability help you show up?
Well, I know that there were many days at work where, I would have a bad day at work or just in life in general. But, and I just felt like I wanted to go home and have a drink. It's nothing to work out. I'm too stressed and bummed or whatever. But, when you pay money for a service, right? That's a motivator. I am motivated by money, and I know I'm paying for your time, and I don't want to waste mine or yours. And if I cancel at the last minute, that's just a loss, for everybody. So, I would just talk myself out of it. I'd make myself go, even though I didn't feel like it. And I ended up actually feeling better after the workout, because I had worked out that anger or frustration. There's nothing like a good workout, when you're frustrated or angry about something. So,
Yes.
or talking to you actually is like my therapist,
Yes. I'm like, just dump it on me. I'm not empathetic.
Yeah,
So
on all out and tell you my problems, and then by the end of the workout it's like, oh, I feel a lot better.
yeah, yeah, yes. And I always have a little bit of opinion for you, don't I? I'm like,
Right.
hey now, Anna.
Like, bring it down. We can bring it down. Like,
It's gonna be okay. The world is
exactly.
still your oyster. Like, matter of fact, take up acting. Go do that.
Right. Let's do something. Do something relaxing.
Yeah, use your creative juices. Anna's very creative, everyone. So, based on your experience with coaching, who do you think this is really for?
I think this is for people who are open, first of all, to other ideas and another approach to their fitness. I think someone who just wants to do it their way and keep doing it is probably, not right for your program. And someone who is a listener, because I knew, like, the point where I met you, I was at a time in my life where things just weren't going in the direction that I wanted, as far as my fitness and my health. So I was open and ready for new information, for new advice and better results. So I think if you're ready and open to be into that consistency and like the commitment that it takes, it's not that hard. Like, once you open yourself up to it and start doing it and you see the results, it's not that hard to be consistent after that. So I think it all kind of falls into place.
I think that's great advice. That is great. Thank you for that. So, how does our coaching actually fit into your life without taking over it?
So, great question. And I think that's probably a significant obstacle for a lot of people, especially people who are super busy with their lives and work and kids, careers, all that thing. Mm-hmm. So when I started working out with you, I blocked out time on my calendar consistently. Every workout day, that time was blocked out on my work calendar, on my personal calendar. So everybody could see, like, this is Anna's time to work out. And that's not to say that, I made it every single time. I mean, things came up, I had to travel or, an audition, and I had to, like, make other plans. But by and large, that time was blocked off and I knew that was my time. So that really just helped me, ingrain into my mentality that this is your workout time. It's not, this is the way it is. And only under exceptional circumstances am I going to miss those workouts. So I just would do it after work, on those set days. And, I told my husband, and, I was home by a certain time every evening. So it worked out. It worked out with family and it worked out with my work life too.
Awesome. So you kept it well rounded. That's the one thing I can say that most of the clients get from this is if they can just find that time that they're going to block off consistently and stick to it for just 6 months, just stick to it. It will become part of your lifestyle and a non-negotiable to other people in your life.
Right. I mean, now it's just accepted. Like, I don't question that I have to do this workout. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's what it's there for. And I think, choosing the right time of day is also important, because I figured out very quickly that I couldn't do my workouts in the mornings. Like, I was not a morning person. It was too early. I would get tired. By the end of the day, I was exhausted if I worked out in the morning. So after work was the perfect time. It was actually the best time for me to have that workout and that downtime after a long day of work. So it was the best thing for me.
Yeah, I find that the people who say they love the morning, some people like the morning, but it's really more of a necessity in the morning than love to work out at 5, 6 a.m. I had the highest cancellation rate that early. And some people, that because of their lifestyle, I do wonder, like, would you choose that? And vice versa with the evening. A lot of clients really would love midday if they could, because then they've had their slow morning. They're awake by midday. They're ready to go.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I think before you left, you were middays for a little while.
That's true. Because of COVID, we were all working from home. So midday that was a great time to work out.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. What can you do now or believe about yourself now that seemed impossible before you started coaching?
I know now that I can achieve anything with my body. Like I can transform my body just by wanting to, and I can lead a healthier lifestyle. Just that's all in my power. In other words, now that I know what I need to do, I have the framework. I have you. I have my training coach who's there, for me every time to give me advice and help me along the way. So I feel like the sky's the limit. Like if I wanted to do another fitness competition or, get really ripped.
We did that for that movie once.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, I remember that. Yeah. Gosh, those pictures were great.
Yeah, you were like, look, Tosh, I need to look like, I was like, okay, let's get it.
Right. I mean, and I remember there was this Pussycat Dolls, workout tape that a friend let me borrow. And I was like watching them work out and I'm like, I could never have a body like that. Like I'm just not made to have a body like that. And, but after working out with you, after we were doing the intensive workouts, I ended up looking like that. And it was amazing to me. I never thought in a million years that could happen. And so now
that's fun. So you're saying you felt like you were a pussycat doll.
Pretty close, yeah.
I'm here for that. Amazing. Well, Anna, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience and your journey. It's been a pleasure over the decade plus years that we worked together. You are ideal, who I love working with, someone like you said, who was open, looking for change, already knows some things, but is trying to implement some consistency that they can have a long life and vitality, and in your words, be able to accomplish anything. So appreciate you. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with at all?
Well, just that give it a try. I mean, you've got nothing to lose. If what you've been doing really hasn't been working for you, I mean, HLS is the way to go. It has transformed my life. Tasha is like my idol. I don't know what I do without her. I'm probably going to be working out with her for the rest of my life until I'm like,
I'll be here.
So, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's life-changing, and I'm so glad I did it. It's the best investment I ever made.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Tasha.